اللهم يسر ولا تعسر. Barakallahu fikum. Let's continue in the Hadith terminology. We have reached the ajuz of this bait. Yani, let's see the bait. The bait, the line of poetry goes like this. The author says, Bismillah, وَمُرْسَلٌ مِنْهُ الصَّحَابِيُّ سَقَطُ وَقُلْ غَرِيبٌ ما روى راو فقط. So both lines together is called what? Bait, al bait, not meaning house, meaning line of poetry. The bait is made of sadr and ajuz, the chest and the rear. We finished the sadr, the chest, the front of the bait, which is wa mursalun, the mursal, minhu, from it, as-sahabiyu saqat, the companion dropped. All right, we talked about that last time. Now we are here on the ajuz, the second part of the bait. Waqul, and say, yani say about the Ghareeb hadith. Ghareeb is ma rawa rawin. What? A narrator. Rawin, a narrator. Rawa, narrated. Here. Ma, what? Rawa, rawin, a narrator, a rawi, rawa, narrated. You know, the in English, the verb and the doer translate in the opposite way. So the narrator narrated it. The verb comes in the front in Arabic. Rawa, rawin. Narrated it, a narrator. Say the Ghareeb is what? Narrated a narrator. Yani, a narrator narrated it. Faqat, only, meaning a single one. So this is the one we want to study today. The case of Al-Ghareeb. That which only a single narrator narrated. Yani, according to what the composer says. Let's see what the explainer says. He says, Rahimahullah, Sheikh Al-Jabarti, وقل أيها الطالب لهذا الفن. Say, O you seeker of this craft. O you seeker of this craft, say, غريب خبر مقدم. ما اسم موصول في محل الرفع مبتدأ مؤخر. أي الحديث الذي رواه راو واحد فقط. Say, O you seeker of this craft, Ghareeb. So Ghareeb means in the language stranger, loner. Someone might say strange, but strange is not meant here, but could mean a stranger. A stranger is like a loner. Ghareeb is ma what? Yani that which, ma here means that which رواه راو واحد فقط. A single narrator narrated it. A حسب منفردا عن كل أحد, meaning uniquely and narrating it in a unique way compared to everyone else. So when you are hearing it's what only a single narrator narrated, maybe you get the impression means it doesn't have any other version. The explainer is clarifying for us. عن كل أحد, منفردا عن كل أحد, uniquely from anyone else. We'll see. ومن أمثلته حديث النهي عن بيع الولاء وهبته. Amongst its examples is the hadith that prohibits selling allegiance. Wala. I don't want to explain that now. Or giving it as a gift. The hadith that forbids selling allegiance or giving it as a gift. فإنه لم يصح إلا عن عبد الله بن دينار. For indeed, it is not valid but from the route of Abdullah ibn Dinar. It's not, I said valid, sahih, it's not sound, it's not authentic, but from the route of Abdullah ibn Dinar. وينقسم الغريب إلى غريب متنا وإسنادا. And gharib divides into what is gharib in its text and gharib in its chain. كما لو انفرد بمتنه راو واحد, like if there were a single narrator narrating this particular text, this particular wording or tradition. So that means other ones. There's other versions. Out of those versions, someone is narrating it uniquely. The text, that is. Um, yes. Let me say this again here. So the gharib divides into إلى غريب متنا وإسنادا كما لو انفرد بمتنه راو واحد. راو واحد. Gharib is divided into a hadith that's gharib in its text and its chain. It's gharib in its text and its chain together. Like, had a single narrator had a unique report, In the case of a single narrator having a unique report, so single narrator means no one else is narrating what he is narrating. So that means that's the gharaba that's in the chain. That's the gharaba in the chain, this unique narrator. And he is narrating something, the tradition that he's narrating, it is unique also. Unique to him. Are we saying it's authentic or it's not authentic? Let's see what's coming. But take the picture here. Take the scenario. So the scenario here is there's a report. This report in its wording is unique amongst all the other wordings. And so where this unique report came from a unique reporter also, meaning a solitary reporter. Uh, Maybe we'll raise your eyebrow then, right? وَإِلَى غَرِيبٍ إِسْنَادًا لَا مَتْنًا. And there's another type of ghareeb. It's ghareeb in the chain, but not in the text. كحديث كحديث معروف روى متنه جماعة من الصحابة انفرد واحد بروايته عن صحابي آخر. Okay. What's the scenario of that? The scenario of that is a hadith that's known, maruf. A group of companions narrate this text. A group of companions narrate this tradition. Now, that in itself doesn't mean every single one saying the words exactly the same. I think that's clear for you. But close, for example. The wordings are close. Or even could be, even if some of the wordings are not as close as others, when they trace it back, they knew it's the same incident. So they were able to interpret it according to the other versions. So, like a hadith that's known and a group of companions narrate this tradition. But انفرد واحد بروايته عن صحابي آخر. There's a companion who narrates it uniquely from another companion, not from the Prophet. عن صحابي آخر. There is a companion who narrates this report uniquely from another companion. So that's a kind of ghareeb. Now, even without us taking an example of such a hadith, just take the picture. This is like first level mustalah here anyway. Take the picture and understand how the scholars discovered all of the scenarios. The more you study the hadith science, the more you know that the hadith deniers are trolls. وفيه يقول الترمذي غريب من هذا الوجه. For such a scenario, at-Tirmidhi has a word. He has a terminology. At-Tirmidhi has a mustalah. He says غريب من هذا الوجه. It's ghareeb in this way. غريب من هذا الوجه. That's at-Tirmidhi's wording here. Sheikh al-Jabarti rahimahullah is benefiting us by pointing out to us that Imam at-Tirmidhi has unique terminology. And I think you know that. Yani, when you learn mustalah, for sure you have to learn about the terms of at-Tirmidhi At-Tirmidhi is the one who says Hasan Sahih. What does this mean? And here, At-Tirmidhi says Ghareebun min hadha al-wajh. It's Ghareeb from this way, yani from this route. So if you didn't know, you might think that this statement of At-Tirmidhi is broad and open. Sheikh Al-Jabarti is saying when At-Tirmidhi says this, he means this scenario, the scenario of a text that's narrated by a group of companions, and there is a companion narrating a rendition of it uniquely from another companion. Let's see how specific the scenario is. And he says, rahimahullah, كما ينقسم إلى غريب صحيح كالأفراد في الصحيحين وإلى غريب حسن وفي جامع الترمذي منه كثير وإلى غريب ضعيف وهو الغالب على الغرائب. He says, and also the Ghareeb hadith divides into Ghareeb that's authentic, authentic Ghareeb hadith, like the unique reports in the two authentic books. Yani any Ghareeb hadiths that are in Al-Bukhari and Muslim. And also there is Ghareeb hadith which is fair. And in the Jami' of At-Tirmidhi, there are many. In the Jami' of At-Tirmidhi, there are many Ghareeb hadiths that are fair. How can he say this statement means he studied the book? Unless he's just merely transmitting, but for sure he studied the book. Like for me, I'm transmitting. But the author here, he studied the book so that he says it with knowledge, not mere transmission. There in the Jamia of At-Tirmidhi, there's a lot of Hasan Ghareeb hadiths. And the scholars have documented, just like there's Sahih books, they documented which books have the Hasan hadiths. Even if that wasn't necessarily the author's intent. If it wasn't the author's intent to say, this book of hadith of mine shall be a book of Hasan hadiths. But because they really studied all those books very well, they know what's in there back and forth. And they would say, you can find the Hasan hadiths in this, in this one, in this one. You can find the reports of the Sahaba in this book. You can find the reports of the Tabi'un in this book. And like this book and this book, these books. And there's also weak Ghareeb hadiths, and that is most of the Ghareeb hadiths. Most of the Ghareeb hadiths are weak. Some of the forerunning Imams said, avoid these unique reports. Most of them are objectionable and they come from the weak reporters. They said, collect the hadiths that are known and avoid these yani these isolated reports. Most of them are objectionable and they come from the weak reporters. Subhanallah. I'll remind you too here. Um, to be warned from the ones who don't give their sources. When you say who told you, who you heard from, and they don't want to tell you. Yani, what's the issue here? The issue here is that they're arguing with you about something, or let's say even complaining about something, or making some claim. Wait, where you heard that from? I heard from some of the people. Who are they? Well, I only take my knowledge from the association. Who you heard from doesn't matter. This all the knowledge comes from all my knowledge from the association. Yes, matters very much. Not everyone is going to be giving you authentic knowledge. Not everyone is has the same level of um, accuracy and reliability. And anyway, why you got such a problem with just saying where you heard this information from? As if you never heard it from anyone but yourself. And you want to talk about something. More than one person recently. I learned from some of the sheikhs. Who you learn from? Don't want to tell you. Wallahu a'lam. We'll stop there. Any question? You said yesterday I asked about the one who says to a Muslim, you think everyone is a blasphemer. The person thought the speaker had committed blasphemy based on their understanding of the words and told them they must say the Shahada. The speaker said the Shahada, but they did not mean literally everyone, but said it because they were told that they understood the meaning of the words, which is why the other person told them to say the Shahada. Did the speaker wrongly consider themselves a blasphemer and harm themselves? Someone here maybe confused him. So he said a statement when he said, you think everyone is a blasphemer." So it's really an exaggeration. The statement he doesn't really mean everyone literally. But the one who heard him say that he didn't understand the exaggeration. So he was the one who didn't really understand the statement. And so he thought that this broad statement is blasphemy because it includes everyone. And then he told that one who said the statement, what you said means this. So that one thought that the one who told him this is saying the truth to him. So that one said to him, now say the Shahada. So he said the Shahada. Here he's not committing blasphemy. He's not committing blasphemy here. And then even later, if it became clear for him that nah, I really didn't say blasphemy. It was an exaggeration. That's what I really meant, and that's what it means. He still didn't commit blasphemy. And it just became clear for him how what is the Yani he just got to the bottom of the case and understood what it all means in the end. There's no blasphemy here. Also, the one who told him, say the Shahada. This one did not blaspheme. Because when he heard the statement, the only thing he understood from it was blasphemy. You think everyone is a blasphemer. He didn't understand the exaggeration and he thought it's a literal statement and therefore is blasphemy. So if this is what he thinks he's hearing, then for sure he's going to say that's blasphemy. So he didn't commit blasphemy for that. It's just that he didn't understand well. You're welcome. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك